A mother's reckoning. My son told me I wasn't special, so I cut off the $3,000 a month I gave him.
The phone call began like any other, but it ended my world. When I asked my son Max about his wedding date, my daughter-in-law Lena met my gaze with a chilling smile. "Oh, we already got married yesterday," she said. "We only invited special people." The words were a physical blow. Special people. I, who had paid their $500 monthly rent for 3 years, furnished their entire apartment, and stocked their fridge when they had nothing, was not special. I stood frozen in my own living room, the phone heavy in my hand, watching my son avoid my eyes. In my closet hung the pale pink dress I'd bought for his wedding, a $200 symbol of an illusion. That I would be part of my only son's most important day, I had saved $1,000 for their gift, called my sister with the news, and cleaned my house, hoping they might celebrate here. All of it shattered by 4 poisonous words. Max offered a weak, rehearsed excuse about an intimate ceremony, but I knew it was a lie. Social media showed the truth. Her family beaming in photos, toasting with champagne, Lena in a white dress I'd helped finance a week later, the humiliation still fresh. Lena called again. Her tone was now desperate and pleading. "Renate, the rent is overdue. The landlord will evict us. You forgot the transfer." I remembered the countless times I'd rushed to the bank, the times I'd eaten cheaply to afford their luxuries. The audacity took my breath away. "Lena," I said, my voice unnervingly calm, "didn't I warn you that I only help special people?" The silence on the line was profound. She stammered, "We were always special to you." But the spell was broken. I saw the years of manipulation clearly. I had walked on eggshells, buying affection with over $33,400 from my retirement and late husband's inheritance, only to be treated as an inconvenience that night. I cried tears of pure, liberating anger. I cried for the fool I had been, for the love I'd confused with financial servitude. The next morning, a new woman looked back from my mirror. I made coffee for myself, not waiting for a call that would never come. I sat at my kitchen table and did the math. $18,000 in rent, $7,200 in groceries, thousands in gifts and emergencies, $33,400 gone to buy the affection of those who saw me as a dispensable ATM. When Max called, I let it ring. When Lena texted, I deleted it. I went to the bank and canceled all automatic transfers. The manager, Mr. Klein, who had watched my account drain for years, showed more genuine concern than my own family. I returned home to find an invasion. Max, Lena, and a stranger were in my house, going through my private papers. The stranger, a lawyer named Dr. Fisher, had the gall to suggest I was mentally confused and should sign a power of attorney. The mask was off. They weren't concerned. They were attempting a hostile takeover of my life. "Get out of my house," I said, my voice trembling with a newfound strength. They left with threats, warning I would die alone. But I was already alone. The difference was, now it was on my terms. I hired my own lawyer, the formidable Mr. Weber. I changed my locks, installed security cameras, and documented everything. My son and daughter-in-law had declared war, and I would fight with intelligence, not emotion. They escalated, filing a lawsuit to have me declared mentally incompetent. They manipulated a neighbor and my own pharmacist into giving false statements. They even sent a social worker to my door, but I was no longer the compliant victim. With Mr. Weber's help, I underwent an independent psychiatric evaluation that confirmed my full competence. My new friends, neighbors I'd finally gotten to know, rallied around me, ready to testify to my sanity and strength. The courtroom was the final battleground. I listened to Lena's Oscar-worthy performance of a concerned daughter-in-law and saw my son lie under oath. But under cross-examination, their story crumbled. They could not explain why a confused woman managed her own finances flawlessly, or why they had excluded their benefactor from their wedding. The judge saw through the charade. He denied their petition, condemning their financial motives. I had won. In the months that followed, I sold my house and started a new life. I traveled, took art classes, and donated to charities protecting the elderly from financial abuse. I used my money to live, not to buy love. I never heard from Max or Lena again. I learned they had to downsize and find real jobs. Perhaps hardship would teach them the value of independence that my generosity never could. My name is Renate. I am 72 years old, and I have finally learned that the most important person to love and protect is myself. True love has no